It's time for Good Game Spawn Point. I'm Rad.
And I'm Gem. Coming up on the show, we get stuck into some fantasy farming and crafting in our review of the open world RPG, My Time at Portia. Plus, Darren's got a new scoop of gaming news, and we'll find out more about our new co-host, Will.
I wonder what his favourite video game is. And if he's a Doctor Who fan, because I feel like he might be a Doctor Who fan.
Right, he's waiting for us right over there.
Hello. Oh, has Darren scanned him for new bites yet?
Come on. It was about a year ago now that I got to introduce myself to all of you. And now, it's Welcome Will.
Officially a GGSP peep. Or a GGS peep.
I do like that. Now, video games are a massive part of my life, so I prepared a little something to tell you a little bit about me. Yes, and since then, numerous other franchises have... Yes, and since then, numerous other franchises... Hi, I'm Will. Yeah, no, that's correct. Incredible. One of the worst performances of my career, and they're letting me on national television. We'll get back to that. Hey, I'm Will. That's Will with 2 L's and an occasional I am, and this is my room of slumber. I live at home with my mum, dad, and recently, my little schnoodle Wilson. That's son of Will. It's a joke, and he's small. But you know what isn't small? My love for gaming. My love of gaming all started as a young'un, watching Crash and Croc smashing through crates on the PS1. That's way smaller than I remember. Then it was the age of the Game Boy, morphing into the Nintendo DS, and then it was the big old age of the big old black box. Gosh, you're heavy. And now it's all contained into this lovely little Nintendo Switch. And it's important to give credit to these 2 lovely people who supported me through my digital years.
Does this mean you're finally going to clean your room?
The key to having video games as a hobby is fairly simple. It's save, serve, and say thank you. That's saving all your pocket money, serving and doing chores around the house, and of course, just saying thank you and being courteous to your mum and dad. A 4th S, though, could be Santa. He's always helped around, but his wait times are so long. Occasionally I do this.
Come on, mate, keep it down.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't take time to do other things, you might miss it. Take this for example. Cosplay. Whether it be fighting off alien threats while looking smoking cool. Defending the galaxy from the dark side menace. Or saving the universe from literally anything. Cosplay really lets you open the door and escape. Exterminate. All right, now that we've got a firm grasp on tweed and scarves, let me introduce you to this corner of my life. My interest in Doctor Who is something I'd be willing to share. I dove in headfirst at the age of 11 and have been caught in the riptide for quite some time. Something else that got somewhat out of hand is my love for comics. I've spent many an hour reading comic book after comic book. From Batman to Blob, comics have always been an escape from the mundane and a trip into the unknown. And you'll never know who you'll find in a comic shop. With all that nerdy nonsense in my head, it was bound to come out creatively eventually. And so, from a ripe young age, my fingers were dancing across keyboards and cameras, making silly little short films, bringing the fictional into the real. Will! Undo it. So, that's everything. Maybe. Let me just check the script. Yep, that's enough about me. It's all about you guys now. I am so excited to join the GGSP team this year. Play a heap of games, so let's do it.
Good spawning, Australia, and welcome to The Scoop, the #1 morning nightly video game news chat show hosted by an autonomous robot. I am your host, Darren.
Morning nightly, how exactly does that work?
Prove me wrong, Gem, prove me wrong. Oh, and everybody, welcome Gem.
Yeah, hi, hello.
Now, let's talk gaming news. VR rhythm game Beat Saber has recently received an update that included an interesting bug fix. The developers had to make a few adjustments due to some players surpassing movement speeds thought humanly possible. Turns out, this was causing technical issues for some of those extra speedy sabersmiths.
See, Darren, I'm always telling you, never underestimate what human beings are capable of.
Well, perhaps. A further update would of course be needed to allow for the speeds elite gaming units like myself can achieve. Right? Now, Gem, did you hear about the watermark that inadvertently appeared in Kingdom Hearts 3?
The watermark? I played many hours of that game and I didn't see anything like that.
Well, I imagine it might be almost imperceptible to the human eye, but I, of course, noticed it immediately. You see, the word Arnold appears for a brief moment on Elsa's arms during a cutscene from the Frozen world. Arnold is the name of a graphics application often used in 3D animation. The watermark occurs when using animation software without what's known as a rendering license.
Rendering without a license? Oh dear. Well, I mean, I guess we all make mistakes, right?
They are only human after all. Now, with so much going on, we haven't had a chance to talk about the news from the recent Nintendo Direct presentation. Some of the highlights included news of a sequel to Super Mario Maker for the Switch due out in June. The Game Boy classic Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening will be remade for the Switch. And Tetris 99 was launched, said to be a reimagining of Tetris as an online last player standing style game.
Wow, I guess they really can make anything into a battle royale.
Now, Gem, it's time for the Extra Scoop! What have you got for us this week?
Well, Darren, I quite enjoyed the video of a 67-year-old father performing the character taunts from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nick Luciano roped his dad in to reenact more than 200 taunts from Yoshi, Peach, Young Link, and the Duck Hunt duo. This dad has some moves.
That ain't gonna work.
The Duck Hunt duo. What do you think about your canine compatriot being part of the Smash Brothers roster, Boatmeal? Boatmeal's my producer. He's my go-to good boy.
Boatmeal.
Affirmative, Boatmeal. It is indeed interesting that some fans refer to the Duck Hunt dog as Mr. Peepers. Now, that's all for the scoop with Darren this week, but join us next time for all sorts of informative shenanigans.
Darren, how do you know what Boatmeal's saying?
Just wave, Gem. They love me. They love me.
Developed by Pathia Games, My Time at Portia is an RPG farming simulator in a similar spirit to games like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. It's been in early access since January of 2018, but has officially gotten a full release for PC, with a console release for PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch on the horizon.
You play as a young builder-to-be who returns to the lush post-apocalyptic city of Portia to take over their pa's abandoned builder shack.
Looks homely.
It's still a mystery why he left, but I did get a good chuckle out of the note he sends you. By the time you read this, I'll be on the other side of the world. Sorry about that. Thanks, Dad. You sure know how to make a kid feel special.
Father of the Year right there. But he doesn't leave you completely empty-handed, giving you his coveted Builder Handbook. This holds the recipes to creating the many forms of machinery you'll be constructing throughout your time in Portia. You're given a handful at first to get you started, such as the stone furnace or grinder, while other more complex or upgraded designs will be added as you progress. I often get a bit of open world anxiety in games like this because it feels like there's just so much to do. So I really appreciated how they drip-fed you info instead of just dumping it on you all at once.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is a lot to wrap your head around. Once you've introduced yourself to some of the townsfolk, you're put to work building your first items and probably the two most important tools you'll use all game, a pickaxe and an axe. These allow you to cut down trees for wood and smash rocks for stone and other vital ingredients to make more advanced equipment. as well as upgrade your existing tools.
Which you'll need to do when you start taking on more challenging commissions. These are requests from the townspeople asking for items to be made,
Hey, Prez, I got a job for you.
which, if you complete, will earn you money or goals and reputation, which you need to up your workshop status. These often have a deadline attached too, so managing your time is key to a successful and thriving business. Outside of selling your wares in the markets, commissions are your primary source of income, and you'll need these to be able to afford to buy materials you can't source yourself, as well as upgrading your home and workstation.
And that's not cheap either, so you really need to be knocking those commissions out in the early days instead of, I don't know, making googly eyes at a certain Civil Corps member. Gemma!
Okay, firstly, how very dare you, sir? Secondly, Arlo and I are in love. Or we will be. Eventually. In between fulfilling commissions and exploring the island, you can also form friendships with the various townsfolk, which can eventually blossom into a relationship, with the help of some thoughtful gifts. While it's not the most authentic feeling of connections, it is very wholesome.
Throughout the whole month, there's a range of special events and activities that you can take part in with the rest of the town. Like martial arts competitions that pit neighbour against neighbour, or spooky-themed scavenger hunts. Not only are they super fun distractions from the endless to-do list, but they also help flesh out the world and the people in it.
100%. I also really liked how the lore is peppered in throughout the story and side missions. It really just adds that extra layer of depth to what's already a chockers game.
That being said, though, it isn't perfect. While it's not the main focus, the combat system feels underdeveloped, and enemies feel more like respawning roadblocks than actual challenges. Combine that with the shonky character animations, missing chunks of recorded dialogue,
Another one smashed.
and repetitive, grating audio clips from enemies. And it feels like a step backwards for what is otherwise a really enjoyable game. Hopefully, though, this will be patched, as the devs have said they're working on fixing things and adding new content as they go, and this needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I hope so too. While I didn't find the combat itself to be too much of an issue, I totally agree that the character animations and audio sync could use some work. You're the thieves! Despite those hiccups though, I'm having a fantastic time, no pun intended, with My Time at Portia. I think the mark of any good game is its ability to keep you coming back, and My Time at Portia does not disappoint. It's a lot of silly fun and so full of personality and charm. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Gem, you know how much I love a good, solid gameplay loop, and My Time at Portia definitely delivers. While I do wish it was a bit more polished, I still really enjoyed what it had to offer, and I look forward to seeing where the devs take it from here. It's 4 out of 5 rubber chickens from me.
That's a lot of chickens. Okay, Radley, it is time to head on down to Question Town.
Oh, you don't need to tell me twice, Gem. I'm actually the mayor of Question Town, you know.
Oh, really? How'd you swing that? Were there eggs involved?
You know, it was a simple series of council meetings and electoral processes. I won't bore you with the details. No more questions. Except for these ones. Like this from Chessie in the infranet world beyond Chessie Tosties. Love a good Chessie Tosty. What Dragon Ball Z games would you suggest for PlayStation? Plussy, do these. Ding! Whoa!
Thanks, Chessie, but I don't know how I feel about a world beyond cheese toasties, or even Chessie toasties for that matter. Doesn't sound like a delicious place to be at all.
Maybe it's so far beyond cheese toasties that they've become Chessie toasties, which are even more delicious. But as for what Dragon Ball Z games we'd recommend for PlayStation, well, Dragon Ball Fighters would have to be my pick. The fighting, the cutscenes, the story mode, oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it all. On the other hand, the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games weren't really my thing, though I do know some people really liked those too.
Oh, and hey, Rad, I actually heard there's a whole new Dragon Ball Z RPG in the works, known as Project Z, and it could even come out later this year.
Oh, well, I'll be keeping a dragon eyeball out for that one.
I see what you did there. Now on to the next question, and this one is from Eddie in Brisbane, Queensland. Hi GGSP, here are my questions. 1. How do you unlock New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey? 2. How do you unlock the Mushroom Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey? P.S. Gem is the best. Yes. Thanks, Eddie. In answer to your question about how to unlock New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey, well, New Donk City is the name of the city of the Metro Kingdom. So you'll just have to collect enough moons to progress to the Metro Kingdom in the Odyssey. I believe it's the 8th kingdom you have a chance to explore.
As for how you unlock the Mushroom Kingdom, well, this is maybe a slight spoiler. You unlock the Mushroom Kingdom by getting to the end of the main storyline in Super Mario Odyssey.
Right. Well, I think it's time we had a video question, and this one is from Blake and Cooper.
GGSP, my name is Blake.
And my name is Cooper.
And we have 2 questions for you.
1. Will there be any more Spider-Man-like games coming out?
And 2, have you heard of any more LEGO games that they will release?
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Blake and Cooper. Keep an eye out for the GGSP pin that we'll be sending your way. Now, will there be any more Spider-Man-like games coming out? As far as ones that are rated G or PG, I'm not so sure. The most recent big Spider-Man game that you may be referring to was rated M, so we didn't cover it on this show.
But there will be more Marvel games to come, so games from the same universe. For example, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is coming out for the Switch. But we're not sure what age rating there will be for that yet. And from what we've seen, it looks like quite a different style of game to Spider-Man.
As for whether there'll be more LEGO games released, well, aside from the LEGO Movie 2 game, which just came out, so keep an eye out for our GGSP review, I'd say it's highly likely that there will be more. I can't imagine they'd just stop making LEGO games anytime soon.
I agree, and they're also re-releasing LEGO Marvel games as part of an upcoming LEGO Marvel collection. So, not exactly new games, but a rebundling of existing LEGO titles, such as LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2, LEGO Marvel Avengers, and some previously released DLC.
Marvel-us.
Excelsior!
Now our next question comes from the Queen of Dragons in the Isle of Dragons. Have you reviewed Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2? And if you have not, can you please do so? Thanks, Queen of Dragons, oh royalty. Now, we obviously just reviewed Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm pretty sure some of the old Kingdom Hearts games were reviewed on the show, but it is definitely worth double-checking with the Keeper of Facts, Darren.
For he has all the facts.
Indeed. He's taking a while to answer. Do you think he's screening our calls?
Hello! Isn't it wonderful I'm now able to zip in and out of my robot whenever I wish?
Oh, yeah, it's great!
Oh, now I've just got to rearrange some of these toys. I don't like where they
Darren,
are.
no touching. Look, you know, I just really don't think that you need to trouble yourself by coming and being here physically. You know, we just wanted to double check whether we had reviewed Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on the show. That was it.
Oh, well, we did review Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix, which featured a remake of Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as some other things. And there was Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, all of which you can still access via our online channels. But I don't seem to see any data for a Kingdom Hearts 2 review.
Right, well, if that's the case, then I think it's pretty unlikely we'd do a full Kingdom Hearts 2 review now. And I wouldn't dare try and do a mini review because it's such a big, complex game.
Oh, it's quite simple, Gem.
In Kingdom Hearts 2, Roxas, who is Sora's nobody, is confined by Diz in a virtual version of Twilight Town in an attempt to merge him with his original self. And then, of course, there's all that hoopla with Xehanort and his nobody, Xemnas.
Okay, we do not need to get into a Kingdom Hearts lore spiral. Oh, look, Darren, over there. Someone's messing with your cable management.
Oh, it took me forever to disentangle that cable mess. I'll have to get it sorted.
Cable management is no joke. But on that note, that's all the time that we have.
If you have a question you'd like us to answer, go here and send it in. And remember, we love those video questions, and any we feature on the show will receive a special GGSP pin. So get filming.
Now, as Mayor of Question Town, I declare these questions answered. Questioning adjourned. That's Mayor talk for you.
I think the power may have gone to your head.
Well, if it doesn't go to my head, where else is it going to go?
Oh, I'm sorry, Darren, but your cabling was a mess. You had your coaxial mixed up with your HDMI and your Cat6.
Hey, Will.
Oh, hey, is the show already over?
Afraid so. But we have heaps coming for you next week. We're going to take to the stunt track for some spills and genuine thrills in a review of the new Trials Rising.
Oh, all those flips. It makes me feel a little robo-spew coming on.
Just hold it in, Darren. If you want to see even more GGSP, make sure you check us out on the ABC Me app or online. And catch up on our reviews of Wargroove and DreamWorks Dragons Dawn of New Riders.
We're also live streaming every Friday at 4 p.m. Check the GGSP website for more details.
Until next time, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Rat out.
Gem out.
Will out.
Darren out.